And joining us on debate number 2 are Ravina Kohli, former president of Star News, live from Delhi this evening. Trisha Shetty, founder and CEO of SheSays NGO and lawyer, live from our studios here in Mumbai. Advaita, author and scriptwriter, live from Delhi with us this evening. Rahul, Easwar, social activist from Trivandrum. Pandit, Ajay, Gautam, religious guru and founder of HumHindu.com, live from Delhi. Padma, Pillai, activist of the Ready to Wait campaign. She's live from Hyderabad this evening. And Ritwik, Bisaria, who's a men's rights activist, live from Delhi today. But first question to Rahul Easwar. Rahul, the reason why we're having this debate is because most often women have to hit the male chauvinism barrier, beat the Right to Pray campaign. We saw it in Shani Shignapur. We saw it with the Right to Pray campaign in Haji Ali. We are now seeing that in the case of triple talaq, uniform civil code. Every time women speak up, they hit the male chauvinism barrier, they hit the misogyny barrier, and that's the first fight that they have to win.
Crime is different, civil issues are different. In case of crime, we should take it as a criminal act, and in case of social issues, that's an ideological tussle between the right and left. In the age of reverse sexism, when female chauvinism acts on males on 498A, dowry, misuse of dowry laws, even Supreme Court has said such laws are being misused. Are we speaking about sexism? This is
actually,
an age of
I don't know how many cases of dowry laws you're talking about, Rahul, because the reality is
so-called sexism.
The reality is that it still very much exists in our country and is part of the accepted norm. So I don't know what reverse chauvinism you're talking about. But let's just come back to specific points. Since you say it's different about social norms and crime, I don't think so. I think it comes down to the same psyche of a person and the mindset of an entire generation. In the case of a gang rape survivor, it took her 2 to 2.5 years to muster up the courage now to come out and tell her story and fight for justice. Do you know why?
Very true.
Because the last time she went to the police, people who are supposed to protect her and help her, they turned around and asked the gang rape survivor, which one did you enjoy most? Now, that's a crime, but what do you think of the mentality of the policeman who asked her that question?
Punish those criminals, but please don't bring in the ideology of sexism and so-called progressism. Those police people were insensitive, they were bad.
Yes, but they're not criminals, and that's the psychology that we need to discuss here. That's the mindset we are discussing here. So don't say that it's crime and it's separate from what is happening today.
It's got nothing to do with ideology.
That policeman is not a criminal. Under the umbrella of feminism and act progressive.
No, I'm sorry, say that again. Can you say that last bit again?
Policeman has done a criminal act of intimidating that woman.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that again?
Intimidating that person. And please don't bring in feminism, progressivism and every other ideology you want to push under the same umbrella. We are all against criminality. But all religions put forward an idea of gender differentiation.
Okay, one second. I think Rahul Easwar, let me just sort of explain what we are debating today, okay? Because you say it's about ideology. We're sort of trying to push all ideologies into under one umbrella. I'm sorry you got this wrong, specifically to what Tanvi, my co-anchor, said regarding that particular incident in Kerala. Let me rephrase that question. Will you play down patriarchy when a woman in Kerala who was gang raped by her husband's friends was asked by a policeman as to who among the rapists gave her the most pleasure? Will you play down the patriarchy in this case?
Yes. Because patriarchy protects. Patriarchy only means rule by the father.
It's exactly what we wanted to bring to the table.
Patriarchy protects. This
exactly what we wanted to bring to the table.
Please differentiate between patriarchy and perversion.
Exactly the point which we knew you would make, and exactly the point we wanted to raise. Trisha, do you want to respond to that? Exactly what we were saying, that when you are fighting for justice and equality, the first barrier you hit is patriarchy.
You know, it's a pity that he's equating feminism with chauvinism. That in itself is a testament of how ignorant you are to the plight of women. Coming back to the overarching issues of laws, you're talking about patriarchy and how it manifests itself in everyday to-day lives of every single citizen that lives in India. Look at the Hindu law of inheritance. A woman who dies intestate is not treated the same as a man who dies intestate. Look at the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act. The natural guardian of a woman who's unmarried is her father, of a married woman is her husband. Parsi law, a woman is no more recognized as a Parsi. Her children do not have the same rights as a Parsi man who marries out of the caste. I mean, I'm not even referring as of now to triple talaq, polygamy, nikah halala. There are so many discriminatory practices against women reflective of the laws and also day-to-day lives. We're talking about patriarchy affecting every day-to-day life of us. Everything has boiled down to sexuality and how we're discriminated against purely on the fact that we are women.
And it's the exact mindset, Rahul. It's the exact mindset that also closes the door on women in places like Sabarimala.
Absolutely no. They are two different issues. These fight the ghost which doesn't exist. They are trying to search for a black cat in a dark room and it is not there. This is a misplaced fight. All the religions put forward a responsible position of protecting women, celebrating women, respecting women. But these feminists, these ultra-feminist hardliners want to paint all women as victims and they must be saviors for protecting these women.
No, actually, Trisha is saying something else.
We do not want to be protected. We do not want to be celebrated. What we're saying is treat us as equal citizens. Do not discriminate against us on grounds of sex. And do not turn around and paint us as victims under the broad of one stroke. That goes to show how you are completely disconnected with the reality and plight of women in India.
Ravina Rajkoli, you had a point to make too. Rahul Easwar, the counter that you're getting this evening proves the point.
People are using religion. He's making an example of saying that religion protects women. What are we talking about? You know, that's not even something we should be saying. I mean, every religion today has progressed with society. I mean, for God's sake, the Vatican is talking about having a female pope. The Christian religion used to be one of the most misogynistic, and even they have progressed with the times. So what are we talking about? I mean, in Hinduism, we've always respected our women. India as a society, we've had a female president, we've had a female prime minister, we have women in corporate power, we have women who've gone internationally into powerful jobs and roles, and here we're trying to suppress women and say they have their role and it's the job of a man to protect a woman. I think it's a job of a woman to protect a woman. I think protection of women comes from the woman of the house, not from the man of the house.
And Rahul Easwar, you know, this argument of yours that the crime is where you should punish, when it comes to social norms it's acceptable, is a very convenient argument. What happens tomorrow when the law changes? Like the law changed when it came to dowry and sati. What happens tomorrow when the law changes for triple talaq? Will our mindset suddenly change then?
It will.
Because now it's a crime.
It is not about mindset. It is about social realities. And please remember, what happened to Haji Ali?
Become acceptable to you then?
Social realities and mindset.
What happened to Haji Ali? Even after a spirited Times Now campaign, Haji Ali won the case in Supreme Court.
In writing, in real life. Please look around you what is happening in society. Look at our movies, look at our television, look at what is happening with women's voices, even men's voices. Why are men today sitting here and saying women deserve equal rights? It's because women have been recognized as not inferior to men. So let's just face that reality and get on with it.
Yeah, and you know,
who is saying against all this? You are creating an illusory argument. And please remember, gender differentiation, not gender discrimination.
Gender differentiation by saying you have to protect women. Who gave you the job of protecting women? We can protect ourselves. Thank you very much.
They say
so be it. And who gave you the authority to speak for all women? Who gave you the certificate to be the head of women all over India? Let them speak for themselves.
Rahul, I think
who gave you the authority to speak for women? The same person.
Why should there be activism in the first place?
The same person who gave you authority to speak for all women.
Feminism is not important here. People should enjoy being a woman and enjoy being a man.
It's not at all a fair comparison.
I'm a men's activist. I'm a female activist.
Rahul, what are you doing? You've proven why we've had this debate in the first place. That when you're fighting for justice, when you're fighting for equality, the first barrier you hit is patriarchy. The first barrier you hit is sexism, misogyny, male chauvinism. I think Padma Pillai wanted to come in. Padma, what's your point?
Yes, I would. Please, you're comparing two different issues which are not in the same platform. How does that fall together? Did the circle inspector who asked the woman that did she get pleasure out of a rape has committed a crime? Is that his patriarchal mindset that has made him commit that crime? Is that what you claim?
Yes.
It is pure politics.
No, it's not.
It is a behavioral disorder that he has.
Really vulgar comment to a gang rape victim politics.
You
It's
don't,
not-
please don't.
It is exactly the problem. The mindset that says that women should not wear Western clothes or should not wear denims, that women should not wear short clothes,
It is how
because
a man
if they
is
come out
brought
on the
up.
streets, then they
said
are responsible for what happens to them.
Who
It
said
is
that?
the same mindset.
I am a
It is
woman
the
who
same
came-
mindset, Padma Pillai, which says that if you get out on the streets at 11 in the night, then it is your problem, not
It is
ours.
not.
This is where
It
it
is not.
starts. It starts with the law protector, the law
Absolutely
implementer
not.
who turns around and
Absolutely
says,
not.
what did you enjoy?
are putting words into my mouth. And
No,
you are
I am saying it's
you're
the same.
obfuscating the issue.
It's the same
You
mindset.
are obfuscating the issue and putting words into my mouth.
How can you
I am
even-
saying that it is a crime. It is not a mindset.
Ma'am, you said
it is politics that he has played.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. What does politics have to do with it, Padma Pillai? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
It is,
What does
it is
politics
part
have to
of
do with it?
politics. It is a politics of power. It is a.
Ma'am, what are you
Please study
talking
the
about?
case and then
I'm
answer,
sorry,
right? It
I'm
is
sorry,
a politics
yeah.
of power. The
You
man
mean-
has made that statement for
patriarchal
specific
power.
reasons.
Patriarchal
It's a
power.
politics
It's
of
exactly what we've been
patriarchal power.
saying.
It's paying homage to men over the years. It's absolutely that. This is also why marital rape has not been criminalized in India. You ask what is the link to patriarchy and crime
No.
and how are women discriminated against. This is exactly why.
When you talk about a gang rape survivor, I'm sorry, it is about patriarchy. When we talk about a gang rape survivor, how can you be in denial about patriarchy or even attempt to play it down? Just some of the numbers when we talk about incidents and crimes against women. 34,600 cases of rape last year, as per the NCRB. This
Who's
means
playing down that?
One second, ma'am, because
I'm saying that
you
you're
spoke
comparing,
of,
you're
no, you spoke
comparing
of something as
the
absurd
gang
as
rape
politics.
of a woman and putting it in the same platform as Sabrimala woman's entry.
Ma'am,
that is so
I don't think
stupid.
you. Let me explain. Because, okay, two parts to what I'm going to say to you right now. Please listen to me very carefully. Please listen to me very carefully. What are we debating? We are saying every time a woman asks for justice, fights for equality, she will hit the sexism barrier, the misogyny barrier, the male chauvinism barrier. And we've proven that at the start of this debate when I asked Rahul Easwar. Second, when you spoke about the policeman who asked a gang rape survivor which man gave her the most amount of pleasure, you say it's because of politics. I'm sorry, we're talking about patriarchy. And the reason why such behavior
Surely
is
it is
seen.
because of politics. You can talk about patriarchy. I say that it is not about patriarchy. It is about an educated man who has got a government employment after writing all those tests and who has not gotten over his own psychological problems and
Advaita
who has
Kala.
imposed it on the people, on that woman.
Advaita Kala, your response to what Padma Pillai is saying.
Well, I think, I mean, she has a point in the sense that it is about politics, because if you look at the facts of the case, there is a political link to this particular case in this context in Kerala, which is just horrific, the kind of questioning she was subjected to. So I think there is, of course, politics of power. So that is involved. There is a political angle to it, true. But I think also what happens is it's also gender politics. So let's not underestimate that.
Yes.
I think we need to move away from this kind of rhetoric where we get stuck with labels and look at it more from the perspective of social realities, and the social realities are damning. You have something like 78 lakh girls who are child brides under the age of 10 in this country. Why does that happen? You just said 34,000 cases of rape were registered last year. There's a statistic that says 86% of those rapes are as a result of people known to these women. So you have women who are being violated, physically violated by the men in their lives. That is worth pondering and understanding why that happens. What is the justification? And that is why this crime is reported, because women are then condemned to live and exist in silence in the violation of their bodies, with the violation of their bodies. So I think we have to look at this because this is deep-seated, and no one should look at it as a personal attack on them.
So
I believe it's about gender equality. I do not believe it is about the battle of the sexes.
Yes.
I don't want to frame it in the context of the battle of the sexes.
Yes, and
because I
Advaita,
think
even
that
if you
goes
say there is a
nowhere.
political
but this
angle,
is about gender inequality.
and even like you said, even if there is a political angle to that specific case, the point is look at the kind of tool that was used to intimidate the survivor. Now that is where the mind games
Absolutely,
begin.
it's appalling, and we've talked about this.
And that is the kind of harassment that inherently
We've
comes
recently
in a
gotten
patriarchal mindset. Ritwik Bisaria, some of the numbers have been thrown out right now. You know, we've spoken about the number of rape cases. 95 women in our country are raped every day. Let's not even begin by talking about
patriarchy.
Infanticide and
one second,
yes.
Rahul, you'll get
2,000 female fetuses every year, every single day are being killed in our country.
It's a system in which father is
Now,
the ruler of the family. How do you connect rape to patriarchy? Patriarchy is a system.
1 minute, can I finish my
He's
point?
the head of the
When
family.
2,000 female fetuses are being killed is because they don't want a girl child. They don't want a girl child because they think it's a burden, because the burden has been put there by a patriarchal society mindset that wants you to pay dowry, that wants you to take care of that girl. That is the problem. Now, Ritwik Bisaria, in such a scenario, how is it that the fight is not against sexism and patriarchy? How can it not be? Ritwik, my question to you.
See, first and foremost, the complete base which has been set up in this debate is... Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead,
We can hear you, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. So see, the complete base which has been set up here is completely one-sided. Yeah, it is completely one-sided.
Of course.
One thing that we need to understand, that what you are talking about, a specific case in Kerala, a man going to a police station receives the similar treatment every day, in fact much worse. For a man who has been raped, for a man who has been a victim of domestic violence, for a man who has been a victim of cruelty by his office female office colleagues, goes through a much traumatic experience in a police station on every day. Issue is that does not become an issue. This is what sexism is against men.
Ritwik,
it is not about justifying. It is not about justifying. We are talking about sexism. I am correcting the same thing. Sexism is there against men.
Okay, one second, Ritwik.
Which
no, and
yes,
no, and coming to the data,
which is again based on the definition of masculinity and being masculine in society, which then makes victims out of men as well, and in the way that they're treated when they report these crimes. So let us understand how deeply entrenched this is, that it impacts men as well, not only women.
Yeah, it's Ritwik, yes.
Trisha,
my problem is we are still equating crime and gender.
Ritwik, no, Trisha has a point for you.
No, I can give you facts.
Brought up men being raped.
If you want to hear, I can give you facts. For example,
sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I will give you the data. I will give you the data.
Sure.
Yes, you want to know. There is only one study which has ever been done by the government of India in terms of male rape. Please understand, the government report itself says of 100 children who are sexually abused in India, which means up to 18 years of age, 54% of them are boys.
You're talking about two things.
I am talking about a sexual abuse of a child, and a child in India's definition is up to... It is up to 18 years, ma'am.
You're giving incorrect information. You're bringing up two things. One, can a man be raped?
No, I am not giving you a wrong
In most cases
analysis.
of a man being raped, over 90% of cases, the perpetrator is another man.
You cannot say that India is a country where a boy's rape happened because he is less than 18. The moment he is beyond 18, there is no rape happening.
The actual data is 51.4% of men of young adults who are being sexually abused.
Sorry, that's a wrong information you are sharing.
It is men who are sexually abusing younger children. So you need to understand that this comes down to patriarchy. You have no correct information here.
Ritwik, 1 second. Okay, let's not divert. Please, let's not divert. Please, let's not divert or trivialize the debate. Okay, let's not. Okay, you have a point to make. Got your point, Ritwik. Let's not trivialize or divert this debate.
I'm not trivializing.
We were talking about patriarchy. Okay, Pandit Ajay Gautam wants to come in. 1 second, Ritwik, 1 second. Ritwik, yeah, you've made your point. Let me go across to Pandit Ajay Gautam. We're talking about patriarchy, Mr. Ajay Gautam. Will you play down patriarchy when Mulayam Singh Yadav, in the aftermath of the verdict in the Shakti Mills gang rape, made the boys will be boys comment?
ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्र काली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमस्तुते. This is a mantra in our Shukla Yajurveda. That means ki every male respect to the females, either in our religious text, in context of our religion, in context of our society and our homemade practices. I am starting my submission with one code of the Apex Code in respect of the female issues, where the Apex Code, Honorable Supreme Court said which rules and acts made for the safety or for the women they are using as a weapon against their enemies for their personal Vedantas. In reaction of that, number of incidents reported in every day in media, the numbers of girls found drunk and they break law and order and peace and tranquility in the society. Sir, please allow me. I listen all of you patiently.
No, one second. Sir, please, no. I'm sorry. This is not moral. Please don't give us moral lectures. There's not a moral policing.
You are blaming about the patriarchy. You are blaming about the patriarchy.
I'm sorry, don't reduce it to that. This is not a moral policing debate.
About the patriarchy.
I'm sorry. No, you can't come on the show and say, women are. I'm sorry, don't come on the show.
Sir, this is an ironical situation for the males. Some so-called activists running a movement against the males. They are just defaming the entire section of the society.
Don't reduce this debate.
Okay, you know what? Pandit Ajay Gautam, do not try to link what is said in the scriptures and do not try to link the religion with what is happening today in this society where men take this excuse and that excuse to take power in their hands. Do not even try to link it with religion and what our scriptures say. And do not even try to highlight how much importance is given to the woman as per our religion. Everybody knows that. How you interpret it and misuse it for years and generations, how that has been done is also a fact that everybody knows. And I actually want Ravina Kohli to come in here and respond to what you are saying. She's got an exasperated look on her face. Maybe she wants to...
I don't know what he's saying. Actually, Tanvi, I really don't know what anybody is saying.
Right now in society.
What is he saying?
What is happening right now in society? This is an ironical situation with all of us. Every woman deserves the right in the property of the husband as well as a father. Every right the women in Hindu religion
so you are agreeing.
Saved. They provided each and every...
Pandit ji, you are agreeing, right?
To us.
Yeah, he's saying patriarchy is a reality. Please accept it. Please live with it.
You are not disagreeing with us, are you?
He's saying, he's saying live with it.
Sir, in every section there are some people who are belong to the who are against what is the running on. But you cannot take and you cannot charge the entire section of the society. All males on this planet are dominating the women. Where the fact.
So, no, what are you talking about, Pandit Ajay Gautam? I'm sorry, you started your argument. I'm sorry. 1 second, sir. Pandit Ajay Gautam, one small question. You started by saying, no, 1 second. First of all, it's sad that you started this by quoting from the scriptures and then you went straight to cases of women who are drunk. I'm sorry. Please don't reduce this debate to that. That's not what we are talking about today. Please do not reduce this debate to that. I'm sorry, the kind of argument that you're giving is very similar to what happened a couple of days ago in the Newshour when we had Mr. Pirzada sitting in Srinagar talking to Shazia Ilmi, who was on the show. This was the triple talaq debate. His question to I'm sorry. It's very similar to what happens.
I'm not commenting on
1 second.
I'm just saying.
I haven't even complained. Pandit Ajay Gautam, let me make my point. It's very similar to what happened on that debate because I'll tell you what happened. 1 second. I'll tell you what happened. In fact, if we have that clip, we'll play out that clip, and that's why we're having this debate. Let's play out that clip, and I'll tell you how similar your argument is to the argument made by Pirzada to a female panelist. 1 second. Listen to this. Listen to this.
A grave injustice is being done to
sister, tell me first of all, you tell me whether you are a Muslim or not. पहले आप इस्लाम को अगर follow करते हैं तो आप अपना हुलिया वैसे बनाइए.
Okay, just to put that in perspective. Shazia Ilmi there in that debate about triple talaq is questioning this norm and she's speaking about it. This man turns around and asks her if she's even Muslim. That he thinks is his way of attacking her and questioning her. Pandit Ajay Gautam, you say it's an exaggeration. What happened there?
I am not commenting on anyone. I am not commenting on anyone.
You say it is an exaggeration. I have 5 questions for you. Okay.
Media every day.
Okay, you are saying we have these laws, everything is fine. In our scripture it says respect women. Some people are there who do wrong things. That's not the reality. I have 5 questions for you. In this specific case, what we just played out, do you agree that this kind of an attack should be done on a woman's beliefs because she is questioning age-old traditions that must change now?
We are
Yes or no,
debating
sir?
on
Yes
the-
or no, Pandit Ajay Gautam? That's all.
Some people,
No, are you saying drunk? Are you saying drunk women
commenting the
invite
sexist
patriarchy?
remark in parliament?
No, his argument
there are
seems to
people,
be-
there are some people. I agree with that.
Parliament,
some people
okay.
commenting,
Yes.
some commenting also in the parliament. But
In
but
how they
what
started.
is that?
Hi,
But you
Anna.
cannot take
Pandit
the.
Ajay
but-
Gautam, it's a very
Patriarchy
simple
start.
answer. Yes or no? What just happened, what we showed you, what Niranjan
When
went out
did
and
it
showed
start?
you, is that acceptable?
These are one
Is
of
it
the-
acceptable when Mulayam Singh Yadav comes out and says, boys will be boys? That is his justification for a rape, a gang rape. Have you seen the state of affairs and the crime rate in his state?
I am not supporting the statement of Mulayam Singh.
Okay, I will give you another example. So if in every case you say you are not supporting, then how are you saying this is an exaggeration?
In our religion and in our social practices, we honor females a lot.
Sir, you're saying, okay, let me sum up what you have said. Okay, Mr. Pandit Ajay Gautam, we're going in circles. We're going in circles. Okay, we're going in circles. We're going in circles. I understand your point. Your point is drunk women or women who drink invite patriarchy. Is that correct, sir? Women who
can
we
drink invite
start
patriarchy.
talking
I'm
about-
sorry, one second. Please hold it right there. Ravina Kohli, please tell this man why his argument
Can
is
we
flawed.
talk
I'm
about
sorry,
the
please
history of-
please put an end to this. Padma, 1 second. Let
I
Ravina
don't know
Kohli
what he's
respond.
arguing, Niranjan.
Can we talk about
I do not know what they are arguing. I do not know why they cannot simply condemn all the wrong things that our leaders, politicians, this nasty cop who
I said
was so rotten
I
to this
simply
rape
said
victim.
I
Why
simply
can't they
said
just
when-
condemn it?
Ki
What
I'm
are
not
they
supporting the
protecting?
statements of the both
Why don't you
gentlemen.
just recognize the society is moving on and we have to get on with it? We have to
You
give
cannot
women
take
a
entire
proper
society.
place in
It's a
society where they're not able to get
patriarchal
it themselves.
They do not respect females. Do not take this quote. If the entire
I'll tell you what-
male society do not respect the females.
Sir, 1 second, sir.
Everybody can stand
No, that's
up
not-
in the metro rails when a female came next to him.
please can
Mr. Pandit
I'm
Ajay
very
Gautam,
happy
Pandit
with
Ajay
that
Gautam.
History of respecting
I don't
women.
think anybody
If
is
you
doubting
look
your
at-
And we need not be lectured
If you
about this
look at-
Western feministic import.
No.
We have our own great Indian
Please,
womanism.
can
you
and great
repeat
examples.
that? Can you repeat that
This
phrase, sir?
feminism is going to destroy
Yes,
our
and nobody
family
is a
structure.
feminist here.
It's
Some
even
of us are
going to
strong
destroy
women who
our
don't
culture.
need to be feminist.
No.
We are actually questioning chauvinism here, Rahul, Easwar. This is not a fight about feminism.
No.
Just and just Ravina, just
Yeah.
I think what Pandit Ajay Gautam is trying to say
And
is that
misogyny.
in our scriptures, in our culture, it is we respect women, but when it comes to individual actions, they are to be condemned. But it is not. It's an exaggeration. That is not the reality.
Please accept the reality. Females are
if that is
much
the point,
powerful rather than
if that
males.
is the point that
In
your
law.
side of the team is making,
Can I come in?
what is the
Can I come
exaggeration?
in, please?
Please
Can I
explain to
please
us.
come in?
Yes.
Can I please come in, please?
Yes, Padma,
Can
go
I
ahead.
please come in?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Can I please
Okay,
come?
please go ahead.
We have pockets still in India. In India, we still have pockets of matriarchy where women are considered the leaders of the society. If you research, there is
Kerala
Lakshadweep.
for sure.
Are they?
Lakshadweep Island.
They are
even
considered and
people of
are
other
they?
religions consider this as. Yes, they are. I come from a matriarchal family.
Why just pockets?
So they're
Why
see,
just
let's
pockets?
examine how this patriarchy thing started. Civilizations, why big pockets? Because we have been reduced to pockets by so-called progress.
That's what we're talking about.
When there were movements
Padma,
which
that's
came
what we're
in,
talking about. That's what we're talking about.
civilizations,
Why just pockets?
invading
That's what we're talking about. Padma, it's interesting because
invading
today you're saying it's there in pockets.
Please let me complete.
Okay, 30 seconds. Go, make your point. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Make your point.
Please let me complete.
30 seconds, ma'am. Make your point.
Look at any ancient civilization. Look at any ancient civilization. You look at it, women and men fought shoulder to shoulder in all the wars. You will have warrior women in Amazon, in Greece, emperors in India. You study the history of this country. When did we deteriorate so much? So stop blaming religion and all those things and start addressing the issue. The issue is that some people pick out what they like from every religion and then act on only that. Some people choose to become Bhagwan Ram. Some people choose to become Devendra. Some people choose to become Bhishma Pitamaha. It is not the fault of the religion. It is the fault of the psychology.
Nobody's faulting religion here, man.
Padma, I don't know if you heard me.
Please look at it at that angle.
Padma,
I don't know if you heard me. That was the first thing I said. Do please, and I told that to Rahul Easwar, please don't try to drag religion into this. And the fight is not about that. Trisha, you want to explain to her what we are still arguing about?
Firstly, to set the record, I am a feminist, and the reason why I'm a feminist is because I recognize that there's categoric discrimination against women across all spectrums. And even I am from a matrilineal family. I'm South Indian. I'm from one as well. But we are the anomaly. We're matrilineal just for the heck of it. When it comes to laws that govern me, I am still governed by discriminatory laws. And also, it's actually 95.5% of rape survivors know the perpetrators. So we're talking about crimes against women that are at an all-time high. You have 82,000 cases of molestation reported against women, and this is just reported statistics. Till date, we are living in a country that does not recognize marital rape as a crime. What does that reinforce? That that a woman has no autonomy over her body, right? That she's a husband's property, which is why our guardianship laws call a husband the natural guardian of a woman. How can you deny patriarchy? How can you deny how flawed our system is currently?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying religion is flawed. I'm saying that patriarchy has entrenched every single realm of our day-to-day life.
I am not denying any of these things. I am only objecting to the fact that you are trying to club something like a Sabarimala woman's entry into this and say that everything is the same point.
That is discrimination.
That is where you brought in religion. And that is where the other people started talking about religion. And now you're saying don't talk about religion.
Padma Pillai, I'm trying to explain that to you, okay? And I want Advaita Kala to respond to you, okay? What happened in the case of Shani Shignapur? What happened? Right to Pray campaign, what happened with Shani Shignapur? Patriarchy, male chauvinism, up against that. We questioned that, we fought against that. What happened in the end? Women won. Women's power triumphed in that case. What happened in the case of Haji Ali? Opposition from the male community. Opposition from men up against patriarchy, up against male chauvinism. What happened in the end? Equality won, women won. And that is what we are talking about when you talk about religion. You ask me why talk about Sabarimala? Because we continue with the Right to Pray campaign. We are confident that women and equality for women will reign supreme. How can you de-link religion in this? Also, interestingly, in this debate, all men, if you notice, are okay with patriarchy. They're arguing for patriarchy, which reinforces the reason why we're having this debate. Advaita, would you agree with that?
I think yes, status quo is.
You are not getting the point.
Actually, look for.
Nobody is arguing against any of these things.
Padma, let Advaita make a point. Padma, let Advaita make a point. Padma, let Advaita make a point, please. Padma, let Advaita make a point.
Okay. Coming back to what Pandit Ajay Gautam, he seems to be a traditionalist because those are the kind of arguments he's using, including quoting from the beautiful Yajurveda. So he has to admit that even if you look at social reality, and I keep coming back to social reality because you have to couch this conversation in terms of social reality, because that is what is causing us distress, which keeps us continuing on this path, which does lead to conflict and public shaming, like we saw unfortunately with Shazia. I think that's terrible display of it. So I think this is the reason why we continue on this path, and that social reality cannot be negated. You may want to accept it or not, but when you meet with women who have been raped, when you look at even the statistics, you cannot dehumanize them by just being in denial, because what happens with this kind of denial is a culture of silence. Today women, we're grateful. In America, women had to fight for the right to vote. Our constitution gives us that right to vote right from the time that constitution was established, and it's taken us 70 years in 2014, for example, to close the gap on the voter turnout, the gender gap, between 63% women and 65% men, and 16 states where more women voted. Women are participating, they're asserting themselves. It's causing paranoia, yes.
Absolutely, it's causing paranoia.
But as long as we have these statistics and these realities to live with, we're going to continue down this path, and you can attach any label or any slur or
just
try and shame anyone on TV, because just 5 more voices will rise.
Yeah, Rahul, for Rahul Easwar, that is called...
Two quick points.
No, Rahul Easwar,
Sir,
what's the term you used?
Two quick points.
Rahul, you used the term. Can you
Two
repeat?
quick points.
Pandit Ajay
Take
Gautam
it
let
from
Rahul
me.
speak.
Now,
Rahul,
two quick points.
Rahul, you used the
Take
term.
it from me.
One
Times
second,
now,
one second.
Right to pray the juggernaut will
One
be
second.
stopped by Shabarimala.
No.
November 7th is our case.
No, women
And
will
in the
win. I'll tell you
subsequent
something.
cases, we will be stopping your juggernaut
One
because
second,
that's
sir.
an insincere
I know you're exactly what Advaita Kala said. Exactly what Advaita Kala said, that you are scared that women will get more empowered. What is the term you used? What is the term you used? Foreign feminist import. Is that the term? Is that the term you used?
The foreign feminist import is not needed in India.
So you're
because
labeling
India
all of the women.
has
I'm sorry, but you're
traditional
labeling
womanism.
all of the women who are
We even
speaking up.
respect Bharat Mata as a woman.
No,
Yes,
you're
yes.
even
Very
respect our
convenient it is to
motherland
say
in the
Bharat
term
Mata,
of-
and
in
so
the term
all of you
female
keep
gender.
quiet. All
But
of this is all
Western
Western influence.
feminism,
It's unacceptable.
like marital rape
Our
bill,
culture is
this
fine.
dangerous.
For
This is
generations and
unprovable.
centuries, we've
This
used
will
that
amount
culture to
legal
suppress your women,
terrorism,
and
like
we will continue to.
498A.
For
Marital
centuries,
rape
you've
bill
used this
is going to
culture
be
of yours,
another
Rahul
disaster
Easwar,
like
to suppress
498A.
women, and you will continue to.
The
Everything
marital
else is
rape bill
unacceptable
is
because
going
it
to
is
be
Western culture.
another sort of legal terrorism like 498A, where it is totally biased. We need
I'm sorry,
more gender neutral
I don't
laws.
think you know what terrorism is. I don't know why you're linking terrorism to
truly
this.
is. I mean, let's keep terrorism aside altogether.
No, it is
Do you know the abhorrent
marital
state of-
rape bill like 498A will cause a
You
kind
are
of
so
extreme
disconnected
legal
from
position
reality,
where it will be
Rahul Easwar.
misused
That
by
is your
female
problem.
chauvinists and their lawyers. These people are anti-family. These Western feminists
So your
have an
notion of
agenda
family
of
is a husband
destabilizing
raping his
Indian
wife with
families.
I'm sorry.
We
Yes.
need not
Is your
want
notion
any
of a
Western
family a
feminism.
husband raping
We
his
have
wife in
our
his
own brand
unity?
of Indian womanism, which
Ravina
respects, celebrates
Kohli.
women.
Ravina Kohli.
Respect a woman
Very
by
amused with
What
what's
does
happening.
Western feminist mean?
No. His term was foreign feminist import.
What does Western feminist mean?
Foreign feminist
give me a
import. So
minute.
whoever's speaking up today, according to Rahul Easwar, is a foreign feminist import.
Excuse me, we are a far more evolved society than even America. It's taken them all these years to maybe perhaps get a female leader.
Yes.
We've been there for a long time. We
See,
are
what
very
she's
evolved
speaking
as
about,
a society.
West.
We just don't want to recognize it. We are getting suppressed by the men who do not want to give the women the equal place in society. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, and that he calls a foreign
Yeah,
feminist
and
import.
Gandhi
It's
long
like
cover.
religion
They
and
had Hillary
politics and
Clinton.
politics of power. That is wrong. That will not
We have Indira
survive.
Gandhi long before
Times have
they had Hillary
changed.
Clinton.
Yeah. At
Yes.
the end of the debate,
We had Razia Sultana,
Yeah,
Jhansi
Rahul,
Rani, Indira Gandhi, long
Rahul, you've
before they
proven-
had Hillary Clinton.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Rahul, thank you.
Denying women their role.
Rahul, thank you. Rahul, Pandit, Ajay Gautam. Rahul and Pandit, Ajay Gautam, thank you for making your points on this debate, because it's exactly what we started off saying. We started off this debate by saying you fight for justice. Women fight for justice. Women fighting for equality. The first barrier you're going to hit is male chauvinism, sexism, misogyny, and patriarchy, which has been proven on this debate. Thank you very much for joining us on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. We will continue with the Right to Pray campaign. As Rahul Easwar says, it will lose. No, we will continue to win. We won in Shani Shignapur and Haji Ali. We will win in Shabarimala as well. Thank you for joining us on Newshour debate number 2.